Hello, my viewers. I wish to welcome all of you back to my channel. And today, I want us to do something different that's on Excel. Now, a lot of my students have been asking me on how to go about some formulas or how to work about some questions given in a spreadsheet. And I think today I have the right solution for you because we'll be discussing about three types of formulas that can be used in a spreadsheet depending with the question. Now, here with me, I have a very simple spreadsheet created, and this one is about students. And you can see here we have the name of students, then we also have subjects, we have total, we have average remarks, and all that. So I have prepared three forms of formulas that we can use. Now, the first formula is known as basic formula. So this type of formula is very simple to use and very direct formula to use. Now, the basic formula can only be applied to um, fields that maybe are not very much complicated. We can use basic formula to maybe get those fields such as the total and average. And then when it comes to simple if is a bit complicated compared to basic formula because here we have to compare when there is a field that contains two different characters but needs to be compared, whereby the other one is has be given maybe to a student depending with the marks scored. So you can simply compare the marks scored and then you give out the item. For example, you can maybe say a student is to be promoted when a certain marks is scored. And then for all students that maybe has less than what is specified within the formula has to repeat because of the marks. Then complex if is another formula that can also be used, but this one is now a bit complicated compared to basic formula. Um, when you have, let's say, for example, we have the grades that we want to give out to our students, whereby we have grade A, grade B, grade C, like that. So you'll find that you have more than two items that needs to be compared. Now, in this case, we'll have to improvise a different formula, such as complex if formula that will allow us to simply get the correct answer that you want. Now, on sheet 2, I have now my students plus the marks, and here now we need to get the total average and all this. But for us to get all this, we'll have to provide the right formula that will automatically calculate for us the total and then give us the correct answer, and then we move to average and all that. Now, before we start, um, maybe we move to those other fields. I want us to start by getting the total here. Now, there is one thing that you need to know, and that is when you are creating a formula, don't start with the equal sign. This sign here, it is very, very, very much important. You must start with the equal sign because if you don't start with that, then you will not be able to get the right thing, and even the system will not be able to execute or to add the values um, depending with the marks given there. So like here, when the user now wants to get the total, then we'll have to start with the equal sign so that we create our formula. But remember, total is very short. So we are only going to use basic formula to give us that. Now, after equal sign, because we want to add, that is starting from subject 1, that's biology, to subject H, that is computer, then we'll have to start by equal sign. Then after that, make sure you tell the system what type of operation do you want to apply. Now, in this case, we are going to use sum. Sum simply means addition. Then we have to provide um, the number 1 and number 2. So here, number 1, we need to state the column, and then after the column we move to row. So like you can see here, we have column B. The column A, we can't include this in our formula because this is where we have the names. So we'll start from here, that is B, and then we tell the system column B, But remember, don't forget to include the row. We have column B and then row 2 here. So row 2, that's where we have John Ken. So we just say B2, and then we insert the full column. So the full column will now add, starting from the first column specified up to the last one. And here the first one is B2, and then the last one is H. So we can say H and then 2. Don't forget to include the number 2, because if you don't include that, then the system will not be able to execute and give us the right answer. Now, after that, we need to close it. You can see up here we have now enter on the keyboard so that to get uh, the answer there, and you can see now if this one is added, everything is added up to here, then the answer is 552, that is 552. Now in Excel, in fact, it's very simple. I really like this file because once the right formula is given out, then everything will just come automatically. For example, like here already we have the first formula given here. The first formula can be applied to all the remaining students. So you don't need to waste much time on calculating all this, this one. No, just point to the first one, and then on the black dot, you can see here we have the black dot. So just double click the black dot. So once that one is double clicked, then everything will just come out automatically. Or you can just click, then you drag it down like this so that you insert everything. Okay, let's go. Now you can see, so we have everything here inserted. You can see the total there. You can see everything. That one is very simple. So that's how you can get the total. Then average is also very, very simple. So for us to get the average, then we'll have to use the same formula, but first make sure that you select this cell here, and then you start by typing equal sign and then type the word average, because that's what you want to get. So make sure the the word average is spelled correctly, and then after that just start by opening the bracket. Then in bracket you also need to provide the column and row. So in this case we have column B, that's where we have our first subject, and then row 2. Then you just do it the same way. Just insert the full column, and then you consider the last subject, that is H2. Just say H2 and close your formula. Now you can see this formula is also very, very short. So this is also an example of basic formula. So once you press the enter, then you'll be able to get everything. Now the average can be given by dividing the number of or the total number by the number of subjects. Are you seeing, like I have the total here? So we can get the average by dividing the total by the number of subjects done. So just do it the same way. You can either double click once the pointer changes to the black cross, then you just drag it down like this so that you get everything. So I think in our next lesson, I will show you how to use simple if and complex if.